Now we are online.
Okay. So, good morning to all European partners, and good morning to those connected to the live streaming. Welcome to the official kick-off meeting of the CHARME project, Digital Cultural Heritage Activities across multiple European regions. Today, our project is officially launched, and in this meeting, we go over the structure of our project, and from today, we formally start our activities. For the occasion, we decided to carry out the first part of the meeting in live streaming to allow all interested people and organizations to get to know CHARME and the European partners. So during this first part of the meeting, we will present the project, the activities, the policy issue addressed, which is digitization of cultural heritage, and each partner will have the opportunity to introduce his cities and his participation to the project, including the new discovery partner from Lviv, Ukraine, which meets the partnership today for the first time. So we give to our colleagues a special welcome. First of all, I am pleased to give the floor to the Mayor of Pavia, Mr. Michele Lissia, for a greeting which marks the beginning of this meeting.
Thank you very much indeed. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you very much indeed. It's a great honor to extend a warm greeting to all of you on the occasion of the inauguration of this significant cooperation project dedicated to the digitalization of our precious cultural heritage. I'm deeply convinced that thanks to this collaboration and shared commitment, we can achieve important and lasting results, ensuring that our cultural heritage can be known and appreciated by future generations. I want to thank sincerely all those who have made this initiative possible, from local institutions to research entities, cultural associations and technological partners. And I'm convinced that your contribution is essential for the success of this ambitious and innovative project. And what I want to say is that I wish you a good work, great work, and great satisfaction in this common endeavor. So thank you very much. We are at your disposal in the near future. And we hope that this kind of project like this can be helpful for all the institutions that cooperate in order to achieve good results altogether. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. I take the floor again to give an overview of the project, the overall objective and the planned activities. And I will use a presentation. I will share now a presentation to help me. Okay, I have a problem with my presentation. I will try again to open it. I ask Elisa if she can share my presentation. I'm sorry for this, we try, but okay, I can start, but I think it's easier for all of you to have a look Okay, I can do it. I think that you can see it. So,
Yes.
Yes.
okay. Thank you. I am Maria Spitti, and I work in the Europe office of the Municipality of Pavia. And I start my presentation with a reference to the Interreg Europe Programme 2021-2027 to understand how our project is developed. CHARME is a European interregional cooperation project co-founded by the European Union under the Interreg Europe Programme 2021-2027, and we are proud that CHARME is one of the 78 European projects co-founded by this in the second call of this program. And what is Interreg Europe Programme? It is a program of interregional cooperation designed to support interregional learning among policy-relevant organizations across Europe. So the objective of this program is to enable public authorities and other relevant organizations to learn from each other, from the experience of other regions. And this learning process involves identifying, analyzing, and transferring good practices with the aim of improving regional development policy instruments, and so to find new solutions that benefit all citizens. This program works through two main actions, which is the first one is the policy learning platform that I suggest to have a look to this platform because it is very, very useful about regional policies. And the second action is the co-founding of project. The program contributes to all the European priorities, such as a smarter Europe, a greener Europe, a more connected Europe, a more social Europe, a Europe closer to citizens, and the solution for better governance. So a project, an international cooperation project, is a project in which organizations from different countries work together on a shared policy issue and capitalize on the experience of each other. So by exchanging of experiences, good practices, and when relevant, by testing innovative approaches, the regions participating work together to identify new solutions and to integrate this solution into their regional development policies. So this is the context in which our CHARME project is developed. CHARME project involves 7 partners and they are located in all the area of Europe. In the south, there participate our municipality, the Municipality of Pavia as lead partner, and the Municipality of Coimbra in Portugal. In the east, participate the Municipality of Iasi in Romania. In the west, the Urban Community of Grand Poitiers in France. And in the north, the Municipality of Turku, Finland. We also have an advisory partner, which is the University of Pavia, the Department of Civil Engineering and Architecture. And in recent time, we enlarged our partnership by involving a discovery partner, which is Lviv Bureau of European Integration, Ukraine, that will participate to our activities with the aim of increase its skills about the issue of digitization of cultural heritage, but also about the management of interregional cooperation project. I wanted to say something about the partnership because I think that our group is an added value to the project. We are all medium-sized cities with a significant historical and artistic heritage. And we are working, we have been collaborating for over 2 years within the SC2U Alliance created by the European Campus of City Universities project, which involves our respective university. And we are very grateful to SC2U because it was the start of our network. In 2020, Our municipalities met here in Pavia, and our political representatives signed a friendship agreement, and we start working together, identifying the cultural heritage as an issue of common interest. In fact, as I said before, the policy issue addressed by the CHARME project is digitization of cultural heritage as a key element of both in building the European identity and in fostering innovation, creativity, and economic growth. Digitization of cultural heritage is an action to support a variety of cultural heritage management and promotion activities, such as restoration and preservation, plant conservation, climate-related impact, and also the engagement of citizens and also of specific targets, such as young people, and the cultural inclusion with focus on the most disadvantaged people. So the overall objective of our project is to introduce digitization of cultural heritage as a key element of cultural strategies in regional policies. I'm not dwelling more on the subject and his technical aspects, because the speaker after me, Professor Morandotti, will do much better, as he has an expertise on the subject, and in fact he will guide the staff that will help all the partners to go through the learning process. So I go to the project activities, and in line with the Interreg Europe Programme, the project activities will be developed through a learning process. So we will have local meetings, online meetings, and in-personal interregional meetings for the exchange of experiences carried out in collaboration between partners, with the guide of the advisory partner, and with the involvement of stakeholders. This learning process has 4 key elements. We will attend thematic seminars on technical and methodological aspects of cultural heritage digitization. We will have study visits to relevant cultural heritage of our cities, and we will study the identified best practices. We will make a critical review of the policy instruments that each partner has identified, and we will define shared guidelines for the innovative inclusion of digitization methodology in policy instrument. These activities will be carried out in 3 years in the core phase of the project, which will be focused on this interregional learning and exchange of experiences. And thanks to this learning process, we will also define and apply the improvement proposals to policy instruments. During these 3 years, we will meet each semester in our cities, starting from Pavia in September, the first interregional meeting, and then in Coimbra, in Iasi, in Poitiers, in Turku, and the last one of the core phase in Pavia again. After these 3 years, we will work together for 1 year more in the follow-up phase, which is focused on monitoring the results of the improvements that we apply to the policy instruments. And all the project we will end with a dissemination event in Pavia. So the project aims are 2 in line with the program. The first one is to increase the knowledge and the skills of the organization involved on the issue of digitization of cultural heritage. And the second one is the improvement of policy instruments to implement regional development strategies, and so to deliver a new solution that benefits all citizens. In fact, all municipality partners has identified a policy instrument to which apply improvement proposals, and I think that later the partners will talk about this. So I go on, and we will not work alone. We will work in this project together with some stakeholders, some organization that has a stake in the policy issue of digitization of cultural heritage. And we have now identified 34 local stakeholders, but maybe during the project that they can be more. And the stakeholders will be involved in the activities. They will contribute to define and to implement the learning process, and they will be involved in the critical review of the policy instruments. The aim of their involvement is on one side to contribute to increase their skills about the subject, and on the other side, the aim is to maximize the achievement of the policy improvements in the core phase. I end my presentation by introducing the upcoming event of the project. That is the first interregional event in Pavia from 10 to 12 September 2024. During these 3 days, we will welcome our colleagues from European Partners Organization and some of the stakeholders in Pavia, and together we will discuss methodologies to start sharing common guidelines. We will participate in a thematic seminar led by the advisory partner, which will be focused on the tools for mapping the regional best practices regarding digitization of cultural heritage. And we will involve the European partners and their stakeholders in study visits to Pavia's best practices. I ended my presentation. And I invite all interested people and organizations to take a look to our website. We will constantly update it with the progress of activities and with the events. And also all interested people and organizations can join our community, our project community through the Interreg Europe platform. So now I give the floor to Marco Morandotti, which is Professor of Technical Architecture in the Department of Civil Engineering and Architecture of the University of Pavia. And he will present the project approach to the issue, to the cultural heritage digitization, and the project innovative character.
Thank you, Maria. And thank you to all other participants to this meeting. I'm really happy to see you back again, and also to meet our new partner of coming from Ukraine. So I'm really happy to share with you this opportunity and also this kind of new trip that is starting from today. As Maria told very well before, it's a starting point, but in another way is a point during a process, because we already met a few years ago within the activities of the C2U Alliance, and so we already established a common language, a common view of these kinds of opportunities and topics. And as I can say from my point of view inside of the activities of the Alliance, that this project is already stated among all the partners of the Alliance as a case study by itself, to look at as an example of side researches generated by the Alliance itself. So I don't know, Maria, if can be shared the presentation. That's the same format of your slide, just to help me a while in introducing from a slightly more specific point of view the topic and the activities that we hope to develop in the next period. As is well known among each of us, the topic and the issue addressed by the CHARME project is related to the digitization of cultural heritage. And we think, we as a partner engaged in this project, that this digitization may be seen as a key element both in building kind of shared European identity and also in fostering further innovation, creativity, and economic growth. Of course, this may seem a quite rhetoric statement, but the aim and the focus of the CHARME project is to translate, at least in part, this general statement into something that can be seen as a result of the project. And I'd like to stress this point because is, in my opinion, really crucial. That the main aim of all Interreg projects is cooperation among public entities, and as Maria told before, it's a learning process, learning from each other and sharing experience. I also think that we are called to demonstrate the possibility of an added value generated by the activities of these projects, also in comparison with local or national or regional policy instruments. So we are challenged to demonstrate that this kind of theorem or theoric issue of the digitization as a key factor to develop an engagement of social elements and social entities and local communities in the cultural heritage is not just theoretical, but it's practical and may be seen as a result. Obviously, digitization is something really fluid because the tools and the instruments of digital creativity are evolving quickly and even faster every year. Just to make an example, in the beginning of the Alliance, let's say just not telling 20 years ago, but 3 years ago, the impact on daily activities of artificial intelligence was never near to what it can be done right now. So every time that we come deep or close to the ICT world, we have to be sure that something moving really fast. So maybe that in the end of the research, we will have available some instruments that right now are not yet. But of course, in this case, the focus, and I would like to be clear about that, is digitization, but not because we act as a partnership, as an informatic or an ICT community. We are here involved as university, as a scientific advisor, as a partner in municipalities. So the topic and the goal is how to take advantage from ICT in order to achieve some kind of public or political goals. And so how to use ICT as an instrument to improve this kind of approach. Obviously, this may integrate some subtopic like survey and documentation of existing heritage, virtualization, fruition, and digital immersive environments to have an access, virtual access to the cultural heritage, and also as an instrument to monitoring the state of conservation with respect to the perspective of restoration and preservation. So we will try to focus along this process on all these dimensions, and then we will hopefully find a common path together to define the most fruitful way in which digitization may be useful for us as a team group, as municipalities and research teams. We had the opportunity to join the project due to some skills that, as research group we have defined and developed in the last years here at the University of Pavia, both in national and international activities. And so the research group that I represent, but we are a team of several researchers and young researcher, has been engaged in several activities. I will quickly show you, not to make obviously a lesson or a seminar, but just to put on the table some examples of activities that we have already done and that may be considered as a starting point of further activities that we can provide during these years. This is college of the University of Pavia, sited into an historical building of the medieval age, and we have developed and recently concluded a research of complete knowledge survey and digitization of a small chapel within this college that can be. Now we can move on the sliders, if I can do it by myself, or I don't know who is acting the moving of the slides. Yes, there we have designed a model that can be visited on private, let's say, personal approach, all online, that can be enriched with several information. So this is a small example, but really active and online, of kind of digital tour that can be used both for most technical reason, but also for a most common audience. And this let me stress the topic of communication of cultural heritage in order to foster the perception of cultural identities and share cultural values. So we can move on quickly because I don't want to take many time in this presentation. This is another monument that I will be happy to show you also physically when we will see in Pavia. That's the San Michele Church. Is a really relevant monument in which our group is engaged in terms of survey, modeling, and also virtualization of historical elements, for instance, in some details on the facade that are lost due to several reasons. But we are trying some experimental way to have a kind of virtual picture of what that decoration was, taking kind of reverse engineering process by historical drawing. And we are now testing some methodologies to let us understand better how that kind of drawings and stone decoration was in the beginning. And also we are we was on the roof of the church last week with Elisabetta and some other colleagues to study what happened to the historic evolution of the church. And our aim is to design a kind of virtual visit of the church that let the visitor see the transformation occurred during the time from a subjective point of view. So you can move in the future in the church, giving a look of what it is and what it was. And there is, yes, we can may on because it's just a quick overview of this example. This is another historical building in Pavia on which we are focusing a school, a summer school that will take place in September in Pavia with partners of the C2U Alliance. You can move on. This is a really beautiful historical building with an historical garden, and we have already did a survey and the model of the facade and then the garden, and we will use these digital instruments as a key and a starting point to suggest and enhance the possibility to a project of restoration of some part of the building that still needs a restoration, and the restoration of the garden. So we are mixing example of digitization to be useful for a fruition, a virtual fruition, or also to be useful for much more strong, let's say, restoration process. So we can move on the presentation. All of these examples, some, not all of these examples, are selected as a case study from the Municipality of Pavia, but for every partner, the case study selection that has been done when we were engaged in the writing down of the project may be enriched or modified. So as advisory partner here, we will try to follow and guide the learning process from all the partners, trying to focus on at least 3 main topics. So try to foster an integrated approach to documentation, virtualization, and digitization of existing heritage, then support training of partner administrative and technical staff, taking also starting point from other experiences that we had in international process exactly on this topic. So to work together with foreign municipalities to define shared instruments and also to give help in fostering this process, and then give support to share some methods that can be useful for all of us. So obviously, from our point of view of a research team, our topic is to study the example that you can submit, let's say, as a case study, and to try to take advantage of the weakness or the strength points of every of these example, and to try to design, let me call it, a kind of mind mapping of these examples in order to facilitate the process of mutual teaching and learning from each partner, and also to try to act as a facilitator of this process. Each project partner has already selected 3 best practices, and we will start asking some information to each partner about this best practice by means of a chart that we have defined. It has not been shared with you, but it will be in at least in a week. I have prepared this synthesis of this best practice scheduling. It's a very easy document. It should take a few time to be fulfilled for each best practice selected by each municipalities, sharing some general information, obviously specifically related to digitization, select or describe the interest level of the practice, if it is local, regional, or national, or also international. If there are already available some website of public internet resources to be listed and to be shared, to be analyzed and studied. And if you move to the next slide, which I think is the last one, we have defined some block of characters, but really few ones, describing the best practice and give some information and also some results or evidence of the success if this practice has been already implemented and if it is active. So there is also the opportunity to share some documents, obviously documents that are already public or can be developed among the partner, and this material will be collected by our group, and we will work on that before of our first meeting in Pavia in order to try to make a first attempt to managing this information, to find if it is a common approach about digitization of cultural heritage already on the go, or if a partner is moving on his own approach that may be related to regional or national rules and try to start the path of discovering how experiences already done can be improved to foster this approach and to define some kind of shared approach to this topic. I think it's enough. I hope to not have spent too many time on this topic, and of course I am here with our team to answer to every question that both in this first part or either in the second one part of this meeting maybe arise from everybody of you. Thank you for your attention and for your time.
Thank you very much. The University of Pavia will have a decisive role in the implementation of the project activities. So thank you for this presentation, and we have ended the first part of this meeting, of this in-streaming meeting, with a short presentation of the project. And now we move to the presentation of partners. And so we will make a little, not so little travel around Europe, and we start from Portugal, from Coimbra. So I begin by introducing the colleague Joana Gouveia Loureiro, who is the head of the Office of Institutional and International Affairs of the Municipality of Coimbra, Portugal. So, Joana, the floor is yours.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Let me just put in the first. So are you listening to me, and have I been able to share the screen?
Yes, we can hear you and we see your presentation.
Thank you. Perfect. So I'm Joana Gouveia Loureiro, and I know so many of you because we have been working together for some years now, of course. I welcome, of course, the Municipality of Lviv. It's a great pleasure to continue to work with you now in this context of CHARME. So I would, because we have only 5 minutes, I will not be able to extend myself. So I will be very, very quick. So we thought of this title, Step into the History of Coimbra, just to explain to you a little bit about our city. This is a view of our city. It's very beautiful, as you know, probably. We have the University of Coimbra. We are seeing it in this photo. And just to share with you some common data. So we are located in the central region of the country. We have around 140,000 inhabitants, a very big university community of students. We have been classified by UNESCO as World Heritage in 2013, and we are increasing our touristic numbers here in Coimbra very rapidly. About the city itself, so just to tell you that Coimbra was it was the first capital of Portugal. We were a very important medieval city. In the 12th century, our first king, Dom Afonso Henrique, settled his court from here, and from here he has conquered the rest of the country. So in medieval times, Coimbra was a walled city with 5 gates and several defense towers. One of the defense tower, the Almedina, which stands for the gate, was also known as the gate of the city. Here are three photos of this medieval heritage. The first one is our first best practice, the Almedina Tower. I will speak to you a little bit about this. Almedina Tower is our first practice that we have chosen because it's part of our Municipal Museum of Coimbra. The museum has several parts, so it has several places, it's spread around the city, but one of them is the Almedina Tower. So in this tower, which was a defense tower, is located this interpretative center. This center concerns the walls of medieval times of Coimbra that no longer exist, but this center aims to promote a knowledge, an intuitive knowledge about the urban structure of Coimbra. So it's an excellent starting point to visit the city and to understand the history of our city. You can see that in this tower, we have a big screen that you can see in the photo with different narratives, with 5 languages, and also a model that can be touched. So it is rather interactive. The walled city, this nucleus of our museum, was created in 2003, and it was updated later in 2020 by a program that it's called Pro Museum, so it was financed. And after this improvement, this update, it became much more immersive, accessible, and interactive. Another thing that is very important, also because of what Professor Morandotti explained to us, is the architectural structure of the tower, of the Almadina Tower, remained completely similar to the original. So we were able to implement this digitalization respecting the characteristics of the medieval tower, which is a national classified monument. You can see the tower here in the photos. This is the second best practice we chosen here in Coimbra. It's a very different one, so they are very different between themselves, and they cover different areas. This is our second best practice to present Coimbra. It's about a free of charge educational program that is called TUMU. It has different 3 independent learning methods, self-learning workshops and learning labs. It is located it is in fact a center for creative technologies, and this is something very important to us. So this second best practice features precisely one of CHARME's objectives, which is to foster innovation and creativity, in this case with younger people, with students. So as you see, the building where this center is located is right in the center of our city. It's between the municipality and the market, and we are very proud of it because it has a very interactive creativity focus, and the level of satisfaction is very high. It just became active 1 year ago, and we are very proud of these results. The third best practice, it's the Science Museum of the University of Coimbra. This best practice speaks for itself also because, as you know, the Science Museum of the University of Coimbra, the University of Coimbra itself, it's a wonderful institution. As you know, it's one of the oldest universities in Europe. It was established in the 13th century. So this Science Museum of the University is a museum dedicated to the promotion and dissemination of scientific knowledge, and it is housed in the historic building that is called Laboratório Químico. It's a 18th century building, and also in another building, which is College of Jesus from the 16th century. This museum is it is an integral part of the University of Coimbra, and it has several collections and exhibitions. They are working very hard in the digitalization and in the database of the elements of the museum. They host collections such as astronomy, physics, chemistry, biology, and medicine. Highlights include, of course, several 18th century instruments, the natural history collection, the historic library, which has historic and very rare manuscripts, permanent exhibitions on science, and we also have a cabinet of curiosities. It is an interpretation, and it is very interesting, and it became very important and highlight of our touristic tour in the University of Coimbra. So the Science Museum has also a very interesting educational and cultural impact in the city. In addition to being a repository of knowledge, the Science Museum plays also a vital role in education and culture here in Coimbra. It offers educational programs for schools, for universities, very interactive activities for the public, several publics. It covers a wider audience through seminars, workshops, conferences. Also, the museum promotes continuous learning and scientific inspiration, attracting scholars and tourists from around the world. We are looking forward to share with you these 3 best practices very different among themselves, but they give us the perspective of our city. We are a city that is very focused in our cultural historical heritage, also very focused in producing talent, as Turku is a good example. And of course, we have this renowned University of Coimbra that works very closely with us. And together, we think that with these 3 best practices, we can and we will host you every city in this project with great pleasure, not only to show you, but also to improve our practices and to get to know your project, so that we think these 3 best practices will become much better after the results of CHARME project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joanna. Thank you very much. We are looking forward to visiting Coimbra and to discovering the best practices that you will bring into the learning process. And now we fly in the east of Europe, and we continue the presentation of the partners by introducing the Municipality of Iasi. So I give the floor to Elena Farca, Head of International Relations and Cultural Programs.
Thank you. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, yes, yes.
Great. So I will start also like with few details about the city of Iasi. Many of you might not know it. Is the historical capital of Romania, officially appointed in 2018, and one of the oldest cities in the region with a strong cultural identity. It's also one of the largest cities in the eastern border of European Union, with around 400,000 inhabitants. It's the second largest city in Romania. And also the second largest academic center in Romania, with 6 universities and about 60,000 students. And as you know, the first Romanian university, Alexandru Ioan Cuza, member of Coimbra Group and the EC2U platform, it's also from here, from Iași. We have the youngest population in Romania, and we are renowned for the cultural life and the historical heritage. And since last year, we became UNESCO Creative City of Literature. You have few images from Iași and just a map to show better where we are, and just few images with our patrimony, starting with the university, the Palace of Culture, the National Theatre, the University Library, the European Cultural Center, Braunstein Palace, the Municipal Building, and also the Triarch Cathedral, which is one of the most beautiful in the region. Regarding the policy we are approaching, as you mentioned, Elisa, in your presentation, we are trying to tackle our integrated strategy for sustainable urban development 2015-2030. And more specifically, the objective 4, living heritage, making heritage more attractive and more accessible, and also objective 7, international Iași through territorial cooperation in the frame of European or international network, aiming the exchange of experience and the internationalization of local heritage. This strategy enhances the role of heritage in our cultural life, and intend to create stronger connection between heritage and creative industries, and also between the events and inhabitants, youth and artists and tourists, and also digital nomads. We will also tackle our digital transformation strategy for the city, but it was only one to be mentioned, so we will approach 2 different things. Speaking about our best practices, we choose the 3 different best practices, and maybe we will present some more if we'll have during the project the opportunity. The first one, it's the memory path. It's a digital map and also a physical map of the historical monuments, buildings in Iași from the First World War. and it was implemented in 2018 with funds from the Romanian government. And through the project, we realized the digital and the physical touristic historical road to highlight the heritage building where were the institution of the Romanian state and the main diplomatic mission during the First World War, 1916-1918. While the city was the war capital, the resistance capital of Romania. And the app that we created, available both on iOS and also on Android phones, includes old photos and information about the 35 buildings that represented the most important historical landmarks. There is also a website dedicated to the project, and during the project we will show you more details about this. Another best practice we want to share you, it's this application, museums, if we translate, but as it's wrote, it means museum AR. This was an application created by a company here in Iași in order to present some exhibits in our Museum of Ethnology in the Palace of Culture. And they are interactive, so when you put this your phone, for example, on this objects in the Ethnological Museum, you can see how used to work. This application, it's meant to bring heritage objects to life, to offer the visitors an interactive and engaging experience during the visit. And the visitor can use the phone to discover the ancient use of the most impressive installation in the museum collection. And it's also offering an understanding of the local history and culture. And you have there the small picture with the palace. This is how the application can be found in Google Play. The third one we choose, it's named Talking Monuments website and QR codes, and it's in fact dedicated website created for the monuments from Iași, and this integrates a GPS map where the most relevant buildings or statues are highlighted. Each of the cultural objectives has a short presentation with video clips, information, text, and photos. And it can be also accessed with the QR from the phone. We have placed QR codes in front of the main buildings or statues, and when you scan the QR, it's displayed immediately a movie with information about this place or monument. And we also, as I mentioned, we have some other best practices maybe we can tackle during the project. We have the digital library of the university library, the renovation and the reutilization in the field of culture of historical buildings. I saw in Professor Morandotti presentation that we can probably work together on this. And we also have a very interesting VR approach to learn about the history of the Palace of Culture realized by Iași.Travel Association. Well, this is all from Iași. I can't wait to see you all here and to share our good practices and to learn from each other, because I can see that we have a lot of things to share and to go forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elena. And the Municipality of Iași also has experience in the Interreg project that I think will be very useful in the progress of our CHARME project. So now, yes, thank you. The next partner is the Grand Poitiers Urban Community, and I am pleased to introduce Dorothy Scarwell, who is head of the International Relations Office.
Bonjour. So Grand Poitiers includes 40 municipalities and 200,000 inhabitants in the Vienne department in the Nouvelle-Aquitaine region in France. Our territory has a rich heritage with more than 90 listed buildings, including Romanesque churches, medieval cities, and historical sites. In this area, Grand Poitiers has identified a key priority and challenge, that is how to enable citizens to reappropriate their cultural heritage and how to make culture accessible to all. And we believe taking part in this Interreg project will, in fact, enable the community to develop ideas and experimentations to address this topic and thus contribute to the improvement of our policy instruments. We have identified several best practices, and I won't be long about that. Just a word, they are from different natures. One is an app to discover the city during its medieval period. Another one, it's about the Palais of Aliénor. It's a very old building, and we are working on making video images during the excavation of the building in order to be able to build a 3D restitution of the building that won't be accessible to visitors later on. And I won't talk about the third one because while we've been working on the project, we've discovered new best practices. So we might change a bit from that best practice. And I'll share that with you later on. To conclude, I'd just say that the development of European cooperation and innovation is also a priority for the municipality and Grand Poitiers. And we are very happy to be able to work with our partners from the EC2U network and share our experiences together. And we can't wait to come to Pavia next September to start these exchanges. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorothy. Some of us had the opportunity to visit the beautiful Poitiers in the last months. And so we are very happy and we can't wait to learn from your experiences about cultural heritage digitization. I now introduce the colleague from the Municipality of Turku, a project manager in the Museum of History and the Future. So, Filematti Rauciocchi, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Can you see my slides?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So my name, as Maria told you, is Filematti Rauciocchi, and I'm the project manager for the project called Museum of History and the Future. We are going to, or trying to open a new museum in Turku by the end of 2030. But some facts about Turku. We have about 200,000 residents, and this is the oldest city in Finland. We are actually celebrating our 800th anniversary in 2029. And our policy instrument is the digital and data strategy of the Municipality of Turku. And this strategy was approved in 2021, and the goal of that is to develop Turku to be the most modernly led municipality in the world in all its services. So quite a modest goal it is. But digitalization of cultural heritage and use of such material is not currently on the focus of the instrument. So during this project, we aim to expand the content of the strategy to cover the storage and utilization of information related to cultural heritage, which would considerably expand the goals of this strategy. And the current strategy will be rethought and revisioned, and digitalization of cultural heritage will be giving a more central role in the next version. And then we have 7 stakeholders in this project. Turku Museum Center is the first one. It is also my employer. And it is the city museum and kind of regional central museum in this area as well. And the second stakeholder is Control Reality Limited. It is a company specialized in virtual reality and augmented reality solutions. And the third one is Regional Council of Southwest Finland. And this is a regional authority with the region's 27 municipalities as members and owners. And fourth one is a company called Zone Limited. This company does not exist anymore, but the former project manager, Jonathan Medina, stays as one of our stakeholders in the future as well. And then we have two of city's universities, the University of Turku and Åbo Academy University. And then to our best practices, and the first one is Turku 1827 3D model. Okay.
Sorry, if you want to change the slide, because we see just the first one, but I know that you have some images to show your best practices, so you can change pages.
Yes,
if you want, I can share for you.
Okay, because I have changed slides, but unfortunately you can't see them.
You can stop your sharing.
Yeah, okay. Where's my...
I can't share because, okay, yes.
No.
Okay. I have problems too. So you can go on, I think. I will try to share it.
Okay, so to our first best practice, and it's called Turku 1827 3D model. It is I think it's yes, this one. Okay, thank you. And this project is a virtual reconstruction of the city of Turku before it was almost destroyed by a big fire in 1827. And the goal for this project was to set a strong foundation for the future development of digital content for the Turku Museum Center and create a reliable open source library to the 3D models. And this project was concluded in the beginning of 2023, and it created not only a full digital replica of the city, but also multiple sub-projects from the same base, such as a mobile app, educational videos, 360 experiences, art projects, and an open source library. And this project was or the company called Joan was responsible for the technical implementation of the model, and we are going to redevelop this model in a couple of next years. So this is our first best practice, and we can move on to our second. It is the Save Turku escape game, and this game is an augmented reality adventure mixing virtual world and reality, where the player's mission is to save Turku's founding document. And this game has been commissioned and produced by the city of Turku, and a company called Control Reality, one of our stakeholders from Turku, is responsible for the technical implementation of the application. So this is our second practice, and the third one, you can change. Okay, this is the Museum Information Portal MIP, and our museum has this portal through which the museum stores, manages and shares information on archaeological investigations and building inventories. The service is intended both for planning and construction professionals in southwest Finland and for private persons who wish to get information about protected buildings and cultural environments in this area. So this is our third best practice, and these are in a nutshell our objectives and our contribution to this project, and we are very pleased to be part of this great network and project. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We know that we have a lot to learn from the Municipality of Turku, so we are very happy that you are part of our partnership. And now I am very pleased to introduce the new partner, the Discovery Partner, which is Lviv Bureau for European Integration, Ukraine. And as I told our colleagues meet the partnership today for the first time, so they can introduce themselves now. And I give the floor to the director, Olena Pavliuk.
Good day to everyone. We are really happy to participate in such amazing project with amazing people. And I will share our slides. Sorry. Second, please. Okay. Why doesn't it work?
I can try to share it for you.
No. Just give me
Yes.
a second, please. I will. I don't know when we were trying what happened this time. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Do you see my presentation?
Yes, we can see it.
Great. Thank you so much. As we are a new partner, and just this program Interreg Europe just opened for Ukraine only in March of this year. So we are really happy to be here with you. And what I wanted to tell you about our city is it's really amazing city. We are all in love with that, and it's really a hidden gem of Europe. And we are in the western part of Ukraine. We have only 70 kilometers from the EU border, and we want to say that we are full of life, and we are resourceful, driven, and we have surprising opportunities and create success with bold ideas. And I will tell you why. Also, as a historical part of our city, we have 120 hectares, and we are in the UNESCO World Heritage List, and so we are very proud of that. Since the full-scale invasion of Russia started in February 2022, Lviv, our city, hosted more than 5 million people. And imagine how it looks like on the tiny streets of ancient cities that was established in the 13th century. But we survived all this, and we are keep living. And now our city became a big rehabilitation ecosystem for all the people from all over Ukraine. And that is the motto is that people should be cared and treated and rehabilitated in Ukraine. also in that time, we created our municipality, our council created the Bureau of European Integration. It has only 1 year, but still we want to integrate with all the community of European Union. And our first project, our first victory was that we participated in European Capital of Innovation, and we gained the 3rd place in this competition because of the innovations that are developed in our city, and we have the whole ecosystem of innovations, and we promote it. We promote it through all the levels of our city, all the communities, and we transform our city in all the ways, as innovations help people to survive, medical innovations, technological innovations, and these innovations help our people to survive, and they also transform our society, our community. For example, in the sphere of tourism, we create special routes and special ways for those who are on rehabilitation and veterans and injured people to touch to the cultural heritage of our beautiful city. So these innovations and innovative approaches create everything for our victory. And as we are a city of communities, we have a big society, a big community of IT specialists. We have a great IT cluster. This is a community of real professionals in their field, and different communities from cultural, from tourism, from sport spheres of our life create such ecosystem. The mission of our bureau is to integrate all the policies, best practices that there are in the European Union with the community of our city. And we want to implement the best practices. We want to be a focal point for everyone who wants to come to Ukraine, and we have a good communication with academic organization, with local authorities in all over Ukraine. So when we've been in the first launching meeting of Interreg Europe, where was Ukraine invited, we were very happy to share this this information with all the community. Why we want to participate in this project? Because we need to make a cultural preservation and accessibility of our buildings and heritage. We want to implement innovation and technology. We have this capacity to do that, and we need just maybe some examples, good, and to create policies with you as it would be possible. For us, it's also important as it is economic growth and job creation, and educational community and engagement, because we have also great people from different parts of Ukraine. They are internally displaced people, and they need to be also integrated, and there's also a good way to integrate those people who just left their native cities. And we really wanted, the main point is that we want to strengthen European identity and integration, and we want to be together with you in this field. For us, it's really, really important to save heritage. As you see on these pictures, the last year, on summer, there was a big missile attack on our city, and here is on the pictures how buildings where people are living and the buildings that are on the UNESCO heritage list, they were injured. And only in 1 year we managed, our city management managed to rebuild it, and I think in a few months people will come back to their homes, as it's very important. So that's why saving of cultural heritage have other perspectives, maybe some new, not so familiar to Europe, thanks to that. But still, it's also really important for us, and you see like real damages. And what I want to say here, some of our cultural heritage monuments, buildings, how they look like, because from the first times, months, even days of the full-scale invasion, we wanted to protect physically our heritage, and we wanted to save it for the next future. So we made such things, and on these monuments you can read see you fully after the victory, and together we can save our legacy and save the best things of architecture and cultural in Europe. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Elena, for your presentation. And we are really happy to have your organization on board, and we will do our best to involve you in the CHARME's activities. So we conclude the presentation of all partners with our city, Pavia, and the presentation will be made by my colleague, Elisa Preti.
Hello, everyone. Most of you visited Pavia during the last years, so I try to go on with my presentation. I think you can see it.
Yes.
Okay. The city of Pavia, the ancient Ticinum, is the capital of one of the 12 provinces of the Lombardy regions, and it administers an area with a resident population of more than 70,000 inhabitants. The city is characterized by the dense presence of both artificial and natural water canals and a rich historical, artistic, and monumental heritage. For centuries, the ancient Pavia, founded by Ligurians and Celts, was the hub of trade between plain and the great rivers. Its artistic, architectural, and monumental heritage, testimony of an ancient history, dates back to the Roman time. Here, in Roman times, two consular roads joined, and throughout the Middle Ages, spices and fabrics imported by Venetian merchants arrived.
Sorry, it's only me, but I see the first slide.
Okay, and I was going on with my slide, but I don't know why you can...
We see the first one with the title, at least myself.
And I don't know why.
Today it's difficult with the slide. I can share it for you.
Now? You can see the second.
Yeah, it's perfect now. It's perfect.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. And I was mentioned that for century the Pavia was has two consular roads, and spices and fabrics imported by Venetian merchants arrived. The Municipality of Pavia, as lead partner, coordinates the project activities and guides all partners in the exchange of experience process, together with the University of Pavia as advisory partner. The Municipality of Pavia involves 9 stakeholders, the Lombardy region as a policy authority, and the province of Pavia, the Superintendent of Archaeology, Fine Arts and Landscape, the Chamber of Commerce of Pavia, the DISU Pavia, that is the Agency for the Rights to University Education, the Order of Engineers of the Province of Pavia, the Order of Architects, Planners, Landscapers and Conservators for the Province of Pavia, the FAI, the Environment National Trust for Italy, the Pavia Delegation, and Il Bel San Michele Association. As municipality, we choose 3 best practice. Professor Morandotti showed you photos during his presentation, and the first best practice is related to the Castiglioni College and the Castiglioni Chapel. A digital survey, documentation, and diagnostic analysis have been conducted to obtain an information 3D digital model for the plan management and conservation of the building. Our second best practice is related to the Pavia University Central Building and the ancient San Matteo Hospital, a digital documentation project aimed at the restoration and plan conservation of the constrained built heritage. They realize BAM models for monitoring and navigation in AR, VR environments. And the last best practice is related to the Basilica of San Michele Maggiore. And with this best practice, diagnostic and digital models for restoration and for understanding of construction technology and historical phase of the Basilica. This project was in cooperation with the section of superintendents, that is our stakeholder, and now with our internal staff, we are discussing on with the Public Works, Cultural and Tourism Department to include our best practice, a new best practices to share with you and bring contribution to the learning process. That's is.
Thank you, Elisa. We are looking forward to welcoming you in Pavia in September. And so we have thus concluded the presentation of the project and of the partners. We are condensing in a short time work that has already involved us for a few months, and that from now on will even more committed us in its implementation. We will keep our city communities updated about the project through our communication channels. So if the partner agrees, we now conclude the live streaming part of our kickoff meeting, which will remain available recorded on our YouTube channel. So I ask all the partners to stay connected for the second part, which is an internal part. And I ask to Elisa to end the streaming. But before, I want to thank all the people that are connected and listen to our presentation.